For over 100 years, cricket was a test of patience and endurance. Then, one format arrived, shrank the game into 3 hours, rewrote its economics, and forced the sport to question everything it believed about itself. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because today's video has got everything on the impact of T20 cricket. Cricket wasn't always this fast. Test cricket, first played in the late 19th century, defined excellence through endurance, where 5-day matches rewarded concentration, technical precision. A batter's success was measured by their ability to survive sessions and not by how fast they scored. Bowlers planned long spells designed to exploit deteriorating pitches and mental fatigue. Captains thought in terms of days and sessions, not moments. This structure shaped the culture of cricket. Stadiums were spaces of quiet appreciation. Even stalemates were considered meaningful outcomes. Cricket's identity was built on the idea that greatness required time. And then, the introduction of one-day international cricket in the 1970s marked the first significant departure from this philosophy. Created to solve scheduling problems, the 50-over format soon became its own commercial entity. Matches concluded in a single day, television audiences grew, and innovations such as colored clothing, white balls, and floodlit games followed. Yet, the essence of cricket largely remained unchanged. Batters still built innings methodically, bowlers focused on consistency over variation, and technique was prioritized over power. However, by the early 2000s, warning signs began to appear. Test matches in several countries struggled to fill stadiums. Younger audiences found it difficult to commit entire days to watching cricket. Broadcasters questioned the commercial appeal of formats, and it seemed cricket's connection with modern entertainment was weakening. The response came from domestic cricket in England, where financial pressures and declining attendances forced administrators to consider radical change. In 2003, the England and Wales Cricket Board introduced a new format called T20. Each team faced 20 overs. Matches were completed in around 3 hours, and the results were guaranteed. T20 aimed to make cricket short, intense, and accessible. It condensed the game into its most dramatic elements. Every ball carried a consequence. Batters attacked from the beginning, and bowlers were forced to innovate under constant pressure. Fielding improved rapidly, becoming faster and more athletic as margins for error disappeared. It was complemented by music in stadiums, evening kickoff times, and an electric atmosphere that transformed cricket into a social event rather than a prolonged contest of endurance. The format attracted families, younger fans, and spectators who had never followed cricket closely before. Initially viewed with skepticism, T20 proved remarkably adaptable. The sport absorbed the format without losing its fundamental structure. T20's legitimacy was confirmed on the international stage in 2007 with the inaugural ICC World T20 in South Africa. The tournament gathered all major cricketing nations for a short, high-intensity competition. From the outset, it delivered unpredictability, spectacle, and emotional drama. Upsets became common, and lesser-known players emerged as match winners. The final between India and Pakistan became one of the most watched moments in cricket history. The match captured millions of viewers and ignited unprecedented enthusiasm in the subcontinent. India's victory revealed the enormous commercial and emotional potential of the format. Hence, T20 was no longer a novelty. It was a global product capable of generating massive audiences, sponsorship interest, and commercial value. The format had crossed the threshold. And then, in 2008, cricket crossed a point of no return with the launch of the Indian Premier League. While T20 had already proven its appeal, the IPL introduced a structure that permanently reshaped the sport's economy and culture. Built on city-based franchises, private ownership, and player auctions, the league borrowed ideas from global sporting models while adapting them to cricket's unique traditions. The immediate impact was startling. Franchises were sold for enormous sums, signaling to the world that cricket was no longer dependent solely on boards and national pride. Players from different countries competed together, dissolving long-standing national boundaries within domestic competition. A young domestic player can now share a dressing room with the world's most accomplished stars, learning under intense pressure and global scrutiny. Television rights skyrocketed, advertising revenue flooded in, and the IPL became a centerpiece around which annual calendars were designed. Its success encouraged similar ventures across the cricketing world, including leagues in Australia, England, the Caribbean, Pakistan, and South Africa. Franchise cricket became the sport's financial backbone. For all its controversy, 2020 played a critical role in rescuing cricket from declining relevance. The format brought audiences back into stadiums and onto screens. Fans could watch an entire game in an evening rather than devoting a full day. Younger viewers, previously disconnected from cricket's slower rhythms, found excitement in its immediacy. Broadcasters benefited from predictable scheduling and high engagement. Financially, the impact was profound. Income from T20 leagues funded stadium renovations, training facilities, grassroots development, and women's cricket. Smaller boards gained stability through shared broadcasting models and expanded sponsorship. Player welfare improved as careers became financially sustainable, reducing dependence on national contracts alone. More subtly, T20 expanded cricket's identity. Players with atypical skill sets gained prominence. Power hitters, innovative bowlers, and agile fielders found opportunities that traditional structures had limited. Cricket became more inclusive in how success was defined, and more diverse in who could achieve it. Yet, the transformation came at a cost. As the commercial gravity of 2020 intensified, tensions emerged across the sports ecosystem. The most immediate challenge was time. With multiple leagues demanding space, international calendars became congested. Test series were shortened or scheduled in isolation. Domestic red ball competitions struggled for attention and funding. Player development also shifted. Young cricketers increasingly tailored their skills towards short-format success. Training emphasized power, variation, and athleticism over endurance and patience. While these skills improved the spectacle, critics argued that foundational techniques required for longer formats were being neglected. The culture of cricket evolved accordingly. Statistical measures such as strike rate and boundary count gained prominence over traditional assessments of resilience and control. A single over could attract more global attention than an entire day of sustained excellence. Loyalty became another point of friction. Franchise-based systems encouraged player mobility and short-term contracts. Regional and national identities blurred as squads changed annually. While this fluidity brought freshness, it also weakened emotional continuity for some supporters. Additionally, decision-making increasingly reflected commercial priorities. Scheduling choices, rule adjustments, and even player availability were influenced by economic considerations. Critics warned that cricket risked becoming fragmented into elite commercial tiers and marginalized traditional structures. These tensions sparked an ongoing debate within the cricketing world. For some, 2020 represents progress. They argue that the sport must evolve to survive and that romantic attachment to the past cannot justify stagnation. For others, the concern is existential. They fear that if Test cricket loses relevance, cricket loses its depth, its narrative richness, and its defining challenges. Cricket's future is likely to be plural rather than singular. 2020 will remain the primary commercial force, funding innovation and global expansion. Test cricket will continue as the sport's highest technical and mental examination, preserved through protected windows and institutional commitment. Technology will shape how the game is played and consumed. Advanced analytics will influence tactics and selection, whereas broadcasting will become more interactive and immersive. Fan engagement will increasingly occur through digital platforms rather than physical attendance alone. New markets will continue to emerge, driven by communities and franchise investment. At the same time, governance will face mounting responsibility. Ensuring fair revenue distribution, managing player workloads, and safeguarding competitive integrity will determine whether cricket grows or not. The question of whether 2020 represents the evolution or destruction of cricket is often framed as a conflict between tradition and modernity. In truth, it is neither so simple nor so binary. What 2020 has done is expose the fragile balance that cricket has always maintained between sport, culture, and commerce. Historically, the sport evolved from timeless tests to limited overs, from uncovered pitches to floodlit stadiums. Each transition was met with resistance, yet each was eventually absorbed. 2020 belongs to this lineage of change, but differs in scale and speed. No previous format altered how cricket is financed, consumed, and structured as rapidly or as profoundly. From an evolutionary perspective, 2020 extended cricket's lifespan in an era of fragmented attention and intense competition from global entertainment industries. Research into sports media consumption consistently shows declining tolerance for long-duration events among younger audiences. T20 answered that challenge directly. It provided clarity, urgency, and accessibility. In doing so, it secured broadcast deals, investment capital, and global visibility that now fund much of the sport's infrastructure, including formats that struggle commercially on their own. However, evolution becomes destruction when balance is lost. The concern is not that T20 exists, but that it dominates. When economic incentives favor short-term gain over long-term development, problems emerge. Test cricket requires investment without immediate return. It needs narrative continuity, historical context, and patient audiences. Cricket now operates in two value systems simultaneously. One prioritizes entertainment, velocity, and commercial return. The other values endurance, mastery, and historical continuity. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until next time.